Hello everyone, welcome to Noomu platform. Today I'm going to show you the community section, which is a very exciting section that we just opened up recently, and it will give you the opportunity to communicate with your team or your customers or members in whatever way you would like. There are so many different and exciting features that I'm going to show you. So in order to access the community section, all you got to do is log into your Noomu builder, and once you're logged in, you just got to click up here on the community section. And then once you click on it, you will come to this dashboard. And here you have all of the information about how many people have enrolled and how many people have completed certain things. You have the revenue, and you have paying members as opposed to enrolled members. And you have a lot of other information about your order. And you can also monitor your content. Track, whether it's paid content or non-paid content, so you can see that. And this one that appears here, it's a circle that we created. And in order to create a circle, all you got to do is just click here, and then you can see you can add a circle. We have created a circle here. So if you want to create a circle, it's simple. You just click on add circle, and then you get to choose templates that you want to use for your circle. You can, start with the template and then customize it however you like. Or you can choose an empty circle, which means you get to customize the template later. So these are some of the options, and in order to do it, you just got to click on it, and then you name the circle. And currently we have created a circle that I'm gonna show you in a bit and on how to do various things within that circle. Right below circle, you see members. Once you click on members, as you can see here, you see people that have signed up onto the account, or that are members in your circle. As you can see here, now we have a circle member that was created. And then in the next step, you can click on moderation. And the moderation, it will show you all of the posts that have been created within all of the different circles that you have, so that you can keep track of all of them at the same time, which is a very nice and handy way of tracking all of it. So you can track based on videos, based on blog posts, widgets, wall posts, or reviews, or people that are waiting for approval, because sometimes you can create a circle that awaits people to be approved before they get enrolled in a circle. And then here you have one setting section, and in this one, this organizes your entire community. So what I mean by that is that here you get to decide the URL for your community. So whatever you write here will be the URL for your community, and that will consist of your domain and then community. And then when you create a circle and you name a circle and you give it a URL, basically the latter part of the URL could be your circle. So we'll get into that later. And then here you can see circle page templates. So this is if you want to customize your community page. There are two ways of customizing. You can customize the actual section of the community, which I will show you in a bit, or you can customize what you want. So this is the actual section of your community. So consider it as a widget. When you create a circle, you will have a community widget that you can play around with. And this is not where you actually customize your community widget. This is if you want to, let's say, add certain things below your community. Let's say you want to add a couple of products that you want to promote. You can, choose what to add, or if you want them to enroll in something. So you can choose, either add an empty block, or you can add any of these things. You might want to add a checkout here, right? So you get to choose a checkout template. So let's say if you want to promote a certain product below your community. So this is how you customize the page, and then you can add as much as you want to it, but you won't be customizing the community section here. So in order to do that, let's just step back here and go back to the actual community, and then go to circle, and let's click on the circle that we created here. So once you click on the circle, it will show up the circle widget, or whatever circle templates that you chose. And then here you can customize it however you like in so many different ways. In order to name the circle and give it a unique URL, you gotta click on this setting icon, and then here you can put a name to the circle. You can here you get to designate or design the URL that is unique to this community, right? So I called it Real Growth Community, or it should actually be maybe like Real Growth Circle, right? Because it's part of it's part of your community, right? So not to mix those things up. So here you can you know, show circle members if you want to. If you want it to display how many members, you can click on that, or if you want to keep that hidden, you can untoggle it. Here you can show circle description, and this is the description that I added, and it shows up right here. So the community name shows up here, and then sorry, the circle name it shows up here. Maybe for simplicity, let's call this one circle as well, just to keep things consistent. So so this will show up here. The URL will be the URL of it, and then supportive, and this part is the description that you see right below. And then here you can add showing tracking progress, or a bar that will show you that. And in this section you can decide the access level for the community. You can leave it open, or you can have it only visible to logged in members, or you can just designate a specific member group, right? And if you choose that, then you get to decide basic member or premium members. Maybe you have customers that paid and you want this community to only be available to them, so you have that option. And then there's another thing that you can actually do here. You can also decide to make it only available for people that pay, right? So you can choose that, and then you edit the payments section, and then you can name things however, whatever product. So sorry, I'm gonna leave this the way it is. I'm not actually gonna change it. And then you can decide to add you know, how much you want to charge per this one. And if it's a subscription based, you can decide recurring fee, and then you can decide whether it's you know, monthly or weekly, or however you want, right? So, or how often you want to charge these or the people that you want them to be enrolled in this one. So that's basically the community or the circle section, so you can customize its settings however you want, based on what type of membership that you want it to, or what type of members that will see this content rather. The second thing that you can do here is that if you might want to change the style of the circle. And if you want to change the style, whether it's this color, that color, or any of this kind of stuff, you click on here basically the painting brush, and then here you get different options, you know, of your circle styling. If you want to have it like compact, this is for this bar right here, or if you want to leave it wide, right? So and then after that you can add expand or collapse button, so which is, as you can see, it's this one here that moves. What this means, I'll show you later. If you choose to start the circle compact, people can still click on this one and then they make it bigger if you leave this one toggled. If not, then obviously they won't be able, they're just gonna see it the way it is displayed. I would recommend to you know, choose whatever option you want here. For me, I'm gonna choose wide because I want the circle name to appear, and then you can choose to add this one that will give them the option to customize it however they want, or not customize it, but to decide how their interface shows up, which is a personal preference in my opinion. And then here, add profile button, that's if you want members to be able to you know, log in to the community, or an easy way to access the login. I would say leave it here. As you can see, it disappears if you don't leave it there. So if you lock it and only make it available for logged in members, then it's preferably that you leave it. You leave this one toggled. And then here, these are just like circle paddings, just basically for you to decide however you want your community or your circle to show up rather. And then circle background color, side sidebar background color, which is this one. So play around with it however you want. This is very simple, right? So you can decide the navigation width. So you can play around with it. You can choose to have it dark theme, but make sure it fits the overall look of the entire circle. So you have literally a lot of options to customize it however you want. Circle image, if you click on this one and upload, it will basically change this image up here. Text styling, it will change the text style here. Icon styling, that's if you want to decide what colors these icons show up. So I made it gray here and made it black for the actual icon. So you can play around with and choose whatever suits your preference, if you will. And then here where to show group sub menu items, its own sidebar navigation, or you have different options that you can do. Sidebar styling, so you can just play around with it. It's straightforward. As soon as you click, you see the option, and then you can go from there. So that's for the basically the layout and the design of it. If you want customize these items, all you gotta do is just click on them, and then it will give you its own little setting bar, and then you can customize things however you want, right? So what I'm gonna show you first, I'm gonna show you the wall section. Think of it as a place for people to have a discussion, to submit certain posts based on whatever topics you want to cover. So here I created two wall sections that people can engage in or submit information. There's so many different ways actually people can engage and submit things. There's the discussion that you can lock it in for only admins, or you can keep it for everybody, that I'll cover soon. And then there's forum as well. So if you want to create like a forum, you can. In order to customize this section, all you gotta do is just click on the settings or gear icon here, and then you can decide to create like a single wall, which is like one post, or you can do multiple walls, right? So multiple walls means that you can have multiple like discussion groups or wall groups within the overall wall section. And here you can decide, to add another wall. So I've created two, as you can see here. Here's one, here's another one, and then you can add another one here. So what you would do is just name it, and then you can decide whether you want it to be compact view, which compresses things, or full post that people can actually see the post. And then you have other sections that you can do here, which is basically if you want the comments to pop up or not. So and then this is just a matter of preference. Play around with it. And then what you can see here, who can post, you can decide only admins. So if you want for this wall group that you want it to only be available for admin discussions, or only admin can post certain things, just to keep things sort of like consistent and neat, and filter out what other people say, because you can designate the entire wall section just for your content that you send other people, and you can leave the discussion here and in the forum section. That's one way to organize your community if you would like to do it that way. So here you have the option admins, moderator if you have people working for you, or admins only, or you can leave it for all members. It's just a matter of preference. And then require approval on post. That's if you want to lock it and make sure that if people post within these walls, only you can approve it, right? So each wall will have its own settings. So right now we're working on this one because these were already created, right? And then here you can decide how many comments will be displayed per wall. Also who can comment, you can decide that as well. Require approval for comments as well. And here, if you want to add an image to the wall, right, to the wall group, so you just click here, you go for image directory, and then you can select whatever image. Just for demonstration purposes, let's leave it simple. I'm just it's a little bit slow on my computer because I have a lot of tabs open. And then you can put a group description here if you want it to show, right? And then you have all of these other options. But I'm actually gonna delete this one because I have, as you can see, like the image that we added and then the name, we didn't name it. You can add a description as well, but I'm just gonna leave this out because I have already created other walls. So if you want to, let's say, change the image of the wall, you just go back to the setting and then you can just change the image and change the description, or do whatever you want. Basically, you can use dark theme or you can use fixed height. So these are some of the options that you have for the wall section, which is neat in my opinion. So the next step would be discussion groups. So this is where you have multiple different discussions. You can decide who sees certain discussion groups and who interacts with them. And so basically, discussion group, when you click on here, you can organize things in group settings. You can name the group name, right? So we named this one discussion. This is the URL for it, it's discussion, and then you have like show group description. So play around with this is pretty straightforward, because there's so much to cover, so I need to move on to the next step. So if you want to alter or change each discussion or add a discussion, you just click up here, you enter the page name or the section where you want people to discuss whatever topic you want to cover. We've created 4 discussions here, and if you want to edit them, you just go up here, you click on page setting, and you can edit the information, the page name, the URL, and a lot of other features here. So here, the access level for the discussion, if you want to leave it open, or if you want to have it only show up for logged in members or members of a certain group. And if you want to select members of certain group, based on the groups that you've created, you can have basic member or premium member. Or if you want to require a certain payment for this discussion, you have that opportunity as well, and you can choose reoccurring payment, and that way you will have you'll customize it based on your needs. So you can decide to create a subscription for the entire circle or for a certain discussion. So if you don't want to have a lot of circles, you can just create one circle and then multiple discussion groups, and then have premium settings for these discussion groups and offer different types of discussions or charge people accordingly. So these are some of the things that you can do here. I'm gonna leave it to inherit from parent or open. Basically it will just that is based on the actual community. Content availability, is it do you want it to show right away, or is it a drip, or you want to drop it based on a specific day or a specific hour or minute, right? So these are some of the options that you have. Or after completion of another page or course. So you have these customization that you can create for these things, and it's very neat and it's very handy, and you will have a lot of options to do, or a lot of different settings that you can set this up with, and then you can change the icon. As you can see, I've selected an icon, or you can choose a larger icon image. I'm just going to leave it to that, and then if you want to actually see the results, you just gotta click here and then you'll see it right away. So I'm just gonna, for consistency, I'm gonna leave it to the regular size icon. You can add badge, you can do a lot of different things. So how does the discussion group look like? So this is the discussion. So here people can submit their messages, you can have conversations, you can actually have a discussion, as I showed you based on the settings, between you and other admins in the circle or on your website. That way, if you want to have like private conversations with admins, you can create a discussion group for that. So you can have it between you and customers, or between you and admins. Think about it as Slack, a way for you to communicate with your people or to communicate with your admin. Basically, one useful thing for this is if you want to, let's say, follow up on people that have joined a certain course. If you want to create a certain discussion group based on that course that you've created, then you can leave that open for the people that bought that course. As you can see that there are there are different groups. You can add one here, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, so now we've covered the discussion. So before I cover the course that you can create in a form of a video format or any other form, let's just do a quick overview on the event. So by the way, all of these features that you see here, or these buttons or tabs, could be added from this section. So you can either add a page group, and if you do create a page group, you just name it, and that will create something like this, like the discussion or like the video courses, where you can organize them. If you want to create just a regular page here, what you can do, you can just click page, you just name it, just demo for this purpose, and this thing, the page setting, will pop up, and here you can decide the page URL. You can name it however you want. You can choose whether you want to hide it when you're working on it and make it public later, and you can choose the access level, whether it's open for everybody or just logged in members or member groups or payment groups. And here you can decide if it's available right away or drip. Basically just like what I showed you earlier. You can decide how often this is available, or you can choose based on completion, right? Or scheduled day and time. For this purpose, I'm just gonna leave it open right away, and here you can track content completion, and I'll show you exactly what this is for. And if you want to give it a nice beautiful little icon, all you gotta do is just click icon. If you want small icons, if you want a big one, you just click large, and then you might just click here and search for, let's say if this is going to be part of your video, then you just click video, and then you choose the icon that you want for that, and there you go. Now you see how it looks like. Later on, I'll show you how to add it into these courses. But for now, let's just show you an overview over, the event. So this is the event. If you want to change the page settings for the event, same process. You go here. You got the name, the URL, page description if you want to hide it, and the access level for it, and then content availability, if it's right away or not, and then whether you want to track it or if you want to change the icon. And then here you get to customize these sections. If you have an event, you can just edit, you can upload a new image, and you just play around with it however you like. If you want to change the description, you can add it here. You can give information about the page, right? The event that you're hosting, and call to action. If you want to create a link, you can give them you can link to another page just by adding the URL here, or you can maybe give them a link to Zoom account or any other account. So now, before we move on to shop, I'm going to show you the forum. And this is where you can create multiple different groups in order to have discussions. Think about a forum similar to the wall that we set up here, where they can have multiple. Here you can decide that only you or other people can have, you and your admins can add to this section. And maybe here is something that you can open up multiple different forums where your people, your customers, your members can participate in, having discussions based on whatever topic you decide to choose for them. Again, if you want to change the setting for this, it's similar to the other ones that I showed you, the access level and content availability and all that stuff. So it's a little bit redundant to go over it right now, but what I'm gonna show you is here. If you want to change the content within it, then you can just click on column. That won't let you change the content, but maybe the aesthetics, how it looks. But if you want to change this stuff and you want to add more forums or walls to it, then what you can do is you get to this page. Here you can decide if you want to have like a single one, which is similar to the wall, or you want to, if you have, you want to create multiple walls or multiple rooms or places where they can actually have not a discussion, but have some form of a conversation, right? So and here you can add more walls. I already showed you how to do it up here, so it's kind of similar, same process. You can decide different features here. If you want to, just going to delete that. If you want to edit a specific one that already exists here, or one of the ones that you created, and you just click on settings, and then you can change this accordingly. So it's no different from walls. You don't necessarily need to have a forum, but if you want to, you can have it. So it's just a matter of personal preference. I'm just showing you the capabilities of this circle section. So, and then later on you have communities. Let's just save it before we move on to communities. So here, again, if you want to change the settings for this, it's similar to the other ones, just to keep it short. But if you want to edit the content within the community, as you can see here, you can add a block. And here in this community, you can offer them whatever you want. Like if you want to, give them more information about certain things, you have all these different options. You might want to provide a link to a service that you provide, or call to action if you want them to take an action somewhere, or image, image and text, video, galleries, or even add, checkouts or e-commerce. These two, probably leave them for the shop, which is something that I'm going to show you. Or if you want to, start building from an empty block, you can definitely do that, and you can add widgets to it. You don't necessarily need to have it. If you don't want it, then you can just hide it from the page, or you can delete it. And if you want to add a page or a button just like these, as I showed you earlier, you just click here, page, and then you name it, and then you click on the gear icon later, and then you can customize it however you want. If you want to add a group, then you just create a group right here. So now let's look at the courses that we created. So as you can see, I lumped all of these into one group. So before I continue, let's just add this one into this group, and it's very easy. So you just click on the gear icon. So this is the demo module that we created. So it's not published yet, so let's just publish it just for demonstration purposes. And then you click move to group. So move to the real growth course, which is this one here that appears. So once you do that, submit, it will show up right here, as you can see. Now, how can you organize your course content so that it actually it's trackable, but it also makes sense? Now, obviously, they don't necessarily have to be videos, but just to show you, module 1, it consists of a video and actually multiple videos. So in order to edit that, you just click on the video, and then you click settings, and then add videos. And these are the videos. So if you have a module, you've created 4 videos for that, you can just add the videos here. You can, choose, you can create a folder where you upload videos to the folder, and then you can select which folder you want to be visible in each group, right? So easy to create a folder, and then you can upload videos onto the folder. So what I want to show you here, which is very important. So here, if you want to, for aesthetics parts, you can change it to have the videos lined up right next to each other, or have them sort of like this way. I will show you the customer section, how this kind of looks like later. And then there are different styles that you can choose here. And then video focus, you can choose to remove control, auto, play video, pause video, and lost focus. So these are like some of the features that you can play around with and see which one is more suitable for you. And then you can change, you know, the thumbnail of the video, and here you can add the collection name or the collection title to the video. Show video views, video and play, and these are some of the things that you can, you know, toggle and untoggle based on however you want to customize it. And then obviously let's just discard so that it doesn't make any changes. Module, let's organize this so that it makes sense. There you go. So if you want to organize it, you just, you know, catch this side here and then move it up and down. So now we have module 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to show you how to actually organize it so that it would make sense. So if you click here, if you want to change the setting of each module, you click right there and then page setting, and then it will open up, you know, a section where you can add page name, a URL, and then you can show the description, or you can choose to hide it while you're working on it. And then access level, there are different access levels. So open, logged in, members or members of a group, or paid, required for people that paying. All right, so here if you choose a group, then you can choose which group can actually access this content. If you choose payment required, then you can choose to decide how much you want to charge. Right, so I'm gonna leave it as open for now. And then this is very important. So track content completion. So if you want to organize it in a way that they cannot view the second video, or they cannot move on to the second module until they finish the first module, then you should have this one clicked. So my recommendation when you create courses, whether it's a video type of course or a written type of course, the process is the same. What I would do is make the first module available for, you know, either right away. You make it available right away, and I'll tell you why. Because if we access this as a customer, so if it's available right away, then they can view it. I'm gonna show you so that it actually makes sense. So let's just show you. Make it available right away, and then track content completion. Okay, so that's for the first one. Access level, it's open for everybody, unless if you want to make it for payment, and I'll show you what this means later. So now the second video, or the second module rather, page setting. In this, you can choose to make it available right away. That's if you don't care whether they watch the first module or not. Or you can choose to drip it and drop it after, you know, a few days. Or you can choose to make it available after completion of another page or course. And, you know, this is probably what I would do for some of my courses or our courses that we host. So you choose that after completion of another page or course. And then here you get to decide which page or which course do you want this to be available after. So I would recommend always after module 1, you know, in a chronological order. And then track content. If you don't click this, then if you continue to build on similar settings for module 3, it will not give them the opportunity to move on to module 3 because it did not track their content completion. So you would move on to do the same thing. Let's leave that clicked. You do the same thing here for module 3. Page settings, so module 3, page settings, so you make it also available after completion, but in this case, instead of after completion of 1, you do after completion of module 2, so that it shows up in a chronological order. And also track completion. And then you do the same thing here as well. Sorry, we did that, so we gotta do page setting right here. you got to do the same thing, and available after module 3. And again, let's say this one was a video, this one was a video. Let's say module 3, it's not a video, but you want to write a written content instead. And it's easy. Right now it hasn't been customized because I just added the widget. And the way you do it is simple. You just click add, and then you can choose to add just text. You know, it gives you options that you can select from. And then we'll do text. And then you customize it however you want. You include the text content. On module 3, you might want to also add one product, let's say checklist or journals that you want to sell to the people that finished module 3, to help them do their work much easier, or to summarize, or whatever you want to add. It could be something else, something complementary. And the way you would do it is just by clicking here, add checkout, and then you can just add a checkout page, and then obviously you customize it however you want, and then you can choose which product you want to show up here to sell it to them, right? So this is the course. That's if you want to, this is the actual course that we're building, so we're not going to select that. Or you add store product, right? So you select the product from the store. So and that would be this one here. So let's just go back to the circle that we're building and to the course. So we're right here, I believe, or we're right here. Either way. So because we didn't save it, we should have saved it before we moved on. Let's do that again right here. And then you have added now the section, and then let's add a checkout. So that's basically the process, and you get just to add the product. And then that's the procedure. If you want to add the product, and then you can move this one down beneath the course content. So if this is, now obviously this is just for demonstration purposes, but if this is like the course content, then you have a little, invite them to purchase a different product for upsell or for whatever purpose. Or you might not even want to include that, and if you don't, you can just delete it and remove it. So you can customize this section however you want. So for now, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And then you move on to the next one. And then let's say this one, you also want to have it in a form of videos, but you want to customize it so that the videos show up like that. And I will show you the interface of that later from the customer's perspective. So right now we see it from the builder's perspective, so that we can customize it how we want. And then this is the demo that we just added, so we can just add blocks to it, add videos. Let's say if you built module 1 really nicely, and then you want module 5 to kind of look like module 1, what you would do, you just duplicate it, and then now you have module 1, and then you can just duplicate it, and then you can just go here and then change it to module 5, and then you give it a title, you change the URL, customize it however you want. And once that is done, you might want to go here. Sorry, we were already there. You might want to make it available after the demo module. It should be number 5, and this should be number 6, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And then you track it. Now you have it available, but it's hidden, so we need to unhide it. So now it should be available. It's published. Now let's go and see it from a customer's perspective. So I just noticed that I have a typo here. Instead of demo, I wrote demon. Wow. Whew. Anyways, so once they finished module demon or demo, I'm going to correct that, then they can move on to the next one. Obviously, they can't move on here to the fourth one until they finish this module. And then once it's finished, obviously this one we chose this type of format. You can make it even more nicer by making it wider. That's something that we can do later. And then now you have the rest right here. So I'm not going to complete all of them, but just that's good for now for demonstration purposes. So let's just go back here and fix this typo right away. Let's do that. Perfect. Now it's fixed. So we have all of them now available. So now let's say you want to make all of these available upon purchase. And the way you do it, you would have to, there's two ways of doing it, but the way to do it so that it applies to all of them, it's an easy thing to do. You just go to group setting. Once you go to group setting, you come down here to access level, and then you make it payment required, and then you name it, and then you put the price. If it's subscription based, then you just click this one here, and then you make it a subscription based, and then you can choose, how often you want to charge them, ongoing payments or 3 payments, depending on how you want to customize it. I'm just gonna make it for a simple $99, and then payment required. Now to do that, let's just do that. Now let's go to here. This is how the customers will see it. Now, as you can see, it's locked. And module number 1 is available. And the reason why we left it available is because, do you remember we chose in the settings to be available right away? But if they want to view module 2, then they can't. They have to purchase it. So you might leave this one as an introduction. That way the introduction is available right away. And then the rest is upon purchase, right? So obviously if they click here, they fill out their payment information, and then this module will become, or the course will become available for them. So let's just go back here. And this is what I mean by available right away. You remember in the setting here, we chose right away. So if you don't want it to be available right away, then choose any of these other sections, like drip specific. That's if you want to drop it based on specific time of joining, maybe 1 day after they buy the course, or 1 minute after they buy the course, then it will be available, right? So that way, if we go here and if we go to community, then I think it needs a little time for it to update, but then it will show like this, get access now. So that's how you organize the course and how you create it in a form of modules or formats and drops. If you want a wider like course view area, then maybe what you can do is schedule them right below each other. So instead of having them show up here, you just have them show up down here instead. So the way you would do it is you just put it onto root menu, and then as you can see, it moved down here. So that way, as you can see, it gives them like a wider space for the course content. So it depends how you want to organize it, right? So if you want to organize it this way, then you can just stack them up, right, one after another, just by moving them to root. And then you can see they show up right here. Or if you want to group them, then it's easy. You just choose the group level and just move them to a group. So it depends how you want your course to show up for your customers. And once you do that, you can just organize it based on a chronological order. So that's how you create a circle and create a community, and then create different discussion groups, different forums within these discussion groups, different formats of the course content, creating separate, in a form of videos or a combination of both, as I showed you here. And you can play around, customize it however you want. You can change the colors. You can make it unique to you. You can make the circle as a paid circle, and then everything else within the circle is free. That's also a possibility to do it. And the way to do it is basically by clicking the gear icon up here, and that will make you determine the level of the circle. And then you just do the same procedure, payment required for the circle. That way it will make the circle paid, and the courses that are available within it, you can still make them paid. But if they pay for the circle, then maybe why should they pay for the courses as well? Unless if you're trying to add more value to them, then that's a different thing. Now, another thing that you can do, actually, if you decide to place your course here, just to have it organized rather down here, but you also want to give them a wider area for the course content to work with, then what you can do here, you can just go to style, and then you can create compact, right? This will shrink that area for them. And then you remove this option. So if you do that, you just give them an option to close it, and then that way they'll have bigger area for them to view the course, right? So they can just decide however they want, how they want to access that content. So I personally would organize the courses in this manner. Some people might want to place it right below and just charge for the circle rather than the course, and then it will be organized where modules will appear right here, and then the discussion group right below, and maybe remove the forum and remove the community. So you can play around with this however you want. So that's basically how you can create a unique circle for your community. Whether free members, paid members, you're the one to decide. And all of these features will allow you to customize it however you like. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them below. Thank you for watching.